but you access it through that other world. That's the spirit world where God dwells. And everything you need is in that world. So now it says, come and let us go up to the mountain of the Lord, to the house of the God of Jacob, and he will teach us his ways. Where are you going to learn how to walk in God? Oh, you say, well, I think I know enough how to walk in the ways of God, you know. If I stop telling lies, if I'm nice to my mother-in-law, you know, if I don't get angry with anybody, I'm walking in the ways of God. Come on. Reality. How do you walk in the ways of God? You walk in the ways of God when he teaches you. And that teaching takes place in the house of the Lord. That's the house from which the teaching comes. We must ascend, beloved. We must ascend. Some Christians, I meet them year by year by year, because I only come once a year to the Philippines. I only go once a year to Indonesia, to India, to Africa, to the United States, wherever I go. I only go once a year. So every year I meet the same people in some places, and I think, what's happening, Lord? They're not changed. They're just the same. 10 years ago, I saw those people. They're just the same. They're still praying to God to help them. You know, they don't have enough of this, enough of that. God, I'm sick, help me. So they've never been taught out of the house of the Lord. The house of the Lord is not the church, as in the church in the world and the building. But the house of the Lord has many teachers in it that are truly taught of the Lord. But you must ascend before you will even listen to them. This morning, there's quite a nice crowd here today, and you're all hearing my voice, but not everybody is hearing the voice of God. Only the ones that hear the voice of God will be changed this morning, will have taken something away from here that will allow them to live a little higher above where they were before. Amen. Only those that hear the voice of God. How do you do that? That is, you're not just listening up here, but you're hearing this word and saying, Lord, help me to hold that word. Lord, teach me that. Put that in my heart, in my spirit. Write it in there, Lord. I want to know that. And God will do that for you. And then in the next day, 2, 3, 4 days, whatever it is, God will allow you to function in that experience of that knowledge. And that means you're climbing the mountain. Or you may have only gone a little way, but then you'll hear something else, and it will take you a little further and a little further until you can live in the house of the Lord. And what was it that David said in that Psalm 23? And I shall dwell in the house of the Lord forever. Hallelujah. Some people only hear from the house of the Lord just once in a long time. You can hear from that voice of God every day of your life. You wake up at midnight, you can hear that voice if your heart is ascending up that mountain toward the house of the Lord. It's a spiritual experience that is growing every day in your life. And if you want to stay the same, then don't bother about climbing the mountain. So, going back to Isaiah 40, let's just get this together. The voice is crying, prepare ye the way. I've spent this time this morning helping you to understand the preparation for the King to come. Remember what we said? The King does not just turn up. No king comes to a country just turning up and say, oh, I'm here. No. He'll let you know. And the voice in the wilderness is crying what? Prepare the way. What? The King's coming. I'm going to tell you, the King is coming. Get ready for him. Get ready. I'm not talking about the rapture. I'm not talking about Jesus coming out of the sky. I'm talking about the King coming to you. This is Revelation chapter 3 and verse 20. People say to me, do you believe in the second coming of Christ? I said, yes, I believe in the second coming. I believe in the third coming, the fourth coming, the fifth coming, the 10th coming, the 100th coming, and the 1,000th coming. Why? Because he is always coming. Today, I believe Christ has come today to somebody, some people here. He's come. You didn't have to wait for him to come out of the sky. He came to you. What does it say, Revelation 3:20? Behold, I'm standing at the door of your life. And I'm knocking. Hey, it's me. Can I come in? He said, if you will open the door, if you will open your heart, I will come in. And what will I do? Will I preach a sermon? No. I'm not coming to preach a sermon. Will I tell you how bad you've been? No. I'm not going to talk about anything like that. If I come in, we're going to sit down at this table and we're going to have a little meal together. But Lord, I've got nothing. Doesn't matter. I'll bring the meal. And he comes to you. And he brings only two things. That's all he brings for the meal. What does he bring? He brings the bread. And he brings the wine. Hearing this? That's all he brings. When Abraham was coming back from the war, you know, with those big giant guys, the kings of his day, when he came back, he met somebody. He met Melchizedek, the king of peace, or the king of Salem. And he was the priest of the Most High God. And he brought something to Abraham. What was it? Bread and wine. Why? Because that's what he needed. The body of Christ. And his blood, which is his life. And what did he say? What did Jesus Christ say? John chapter 6. If you do not eat my flesh and drink my blood, you have no life in you. This morning, beloved, he's standing at your door. He said, I want to come in. Would you let him in? And he'll bring the bread and the wine. He will bring that which represents the substance of what he is.